Nipsey Hussle was one of the most inspiring and hardworking musicians to ever make it in the industry. He overcame his origins as a gang member in inner-city Los Angeles to become a successful rapper and philanthropist, best known for his work ethic and community outreach. That's why it was such a shocking tragedy when he was killed on Sunday afternoon, outside of the clothing store he started in LA. In this video, I'm going to look back at Nipsey's rise to success and the efforts he made to lift up his community throughout his career. Nipsey Hussle had to work very hard for a long time before he earned the recognition he deserved as a businessman and a musician. He got his start selling mixtapes out of the back of his car in 2005, when he decided to distance himself from the violent gang lifestyle he was raised in. But what set Nipsey apart from his peers in LA was his natural interest in making money. His hip-hop role models were people like Jay-Z and Dr.E, rappers who made it out of the streets by investing and starting their own companies. Nipsey spoke many times about how paying attention to the older musicians' business moves taught him how to make it out of the ghetto. Nipsey was well known for both the amount of mixtapes he released during his career and the way he marketed them. One of the most famous stories about his come-up in the industry involves the time he sold only 1,000 copies of his Crenshaw mixtape for the price of $100 each. Nipsey included with the mixtape a ticket to one of his shows, an autograph, and a chance to receive a phone call with him. He organized a pop-up shop in LA for the release day of the mixtape. It sold out quickly, and with a cost of 75 cents per unit to produce CDs, he effectively made 1,300% profit, not including the cost to record the mixtape. Jay-Z ended up buying 100 copies of the mixtape, paying $10,000 total. The project was ranked as one of the best of 2013, and it established Nipsey as a rapper simultaneously relatable yet larger than life. Nipsey would release many more mixtapes and continue growing his businesses before finally dropping his first studio album, Victory Lap, in 2018. The album featured artists like Kendrick Lamar and Cee Lo Green, and it sold over 50,000 copies, reaching number 4 on the Billboard 200. Victory Lap was nominated for a Grammy for the Best Rap Album of 2018. In the meantime, Nipsey opened a successful clothing store in the same building he grew up hustling in front of. He and a business partner bought the entire property for over $1 million, and they were planning to revitalize it completely, with plans to build a 6-story residential facility on top of the commercial plaza.
We recently opened up an inner-city co-work space in the vein of WeWork for local entrepreneurs. You know what I mean? And we got, I think, 8 entrepreneurs that all have products in the tech space that are in the building with us. And we also have a science, technology, engineering, and math center on the 2nd level for young kids to be able to get trained in the skill set that it takes to get into Silicon Valley.
In 2018, he launched a STEM program in LA, with plans to open up a second one in Baltimore. He wanted to help lift up intelligent young kids who weren't being given access to resources that would help them flourish. Nipsey was involved in local arts programs as well, providing funding for projects like the LA art event destination Crenshaw and the successful co-working space Vector 90. But no matter how hard he tried, in the end, the violence that he fought so hard to prevent would cost him his life. Nipsey Hussle was killed in front of his clothing store on Sunday, March 31st, 2019. He left behind his longtime girlfriend and a 2-year-old daughter. He was supposed to meet with the police force of LA the next day to discuss how to deal with violence among the youth. Nipsey Hussle leaves behind an incredible personal legacy of musicianship, philanthropy, activism, and personal development. He overcame every hurdle set up against him from the day he was born. He was a smart black man with an amazing work ethic and a desire to make things better for everyone, not just himself. Nipsey was a shining example of what a rapper could be. He had no enemies, and he tried his best to end the injustices that made his own life so hard. Many rappers give their city the occasional shout-out, but very few pour time and money into rebuilding the local economy. In times like these, it's important to remember that for every rapper killed in cold blood, there are tens of thousands of nameless, voiceless innocents who suffer the same fate. The problem is systemic. It can't be solved by individuals. Gun violence is so random, unpredictable, and dangerous. Nipsey's death is sobering. It reminds us that no matter how hard we try, we're nothing more than pawns in the game that is America's struggle with violence. But we still need people like Nipsey to teach black kids what the education system leaves out, how to break the cycle of violence and how to move up in the world. It makes me wonder if America will ever find a solution. There are so many people groups, so many conflicting interests in different regions. I'm not sure if the government can actually do anything that will benefit everybody. But I am sure of a few things. Life is unfair, and even when you're at the top of your game, you have no real control over your fate. And that's why we need to keep giving back to those around us. Buying a house in Calabasas and investing in hedge funds, that's not the solution. It never will be. Helping people in need, providing resources for underprivileged youth, that's progress. Nipsey was only 33 years old, but he used his time on Earth to do more for his community than most rappers ever will. His life was a life well spent, and I hope you will all join me in looking forward to the future and focusing on what we can do to live up to Nipsey's incredible legacy. This has been Volksgeist. Thank you for watching.
What he meant to the community, if you want to look around right now, every single person that's out here, spending their time here, they're here because he spoke to them in some way, he inspired them in some way, they related to him in some way.
He meant a lot. He meant everything to the community. You know, he was an entrepreneur. He was employing people. He loved his community. He was encouraging them and empowering them to be more, to do more with their lives. So that's why we're here today.
He inspired everybody to be different. He inspired to be the businessman and cut the middleman out and be your own boss. And like, that's what hurts the most.
This is not going to be a good outcome for our community. We have lost a legend. We have lost someone who has inspired others, who have came from the ground all the way to the top.